going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Quincy Bell Sports. Today we are going to be talking about the Duke Blue Devils and how far they will go in the NCAA tournament. But before we start, I have a big announcement. If you guys have not already joined my ESPN Tournament Challenge pool, it might be good of you to do so because we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm interested to see who's going to win. And the winner will get to come on Quincy Bell Sports via call and talk about their picks. So when you make your bracket, make sure you put it as your name, or if you have like a YouTube name that you used to comment, make it that, like, I know, like, Boys from D's bracket, Quincy Bell Sports, you know what I mean. Just make sure you put your name as your bracket. So I think without further ado, let's get into the video. So Duke is a sensitive subject because everybody either thinks they're going to go all the way or they're going to lose to Lehigh again. It's a sensitive subject. So I figured I would let you guys vote in a poll I made on my community tab. So here are the results from the poll so far. So, to my surprise, nobody picked Duke to lose in the round of 32 or 64, which just shows how high the public is on them. But the majority of people said they would lose in the Sweet 16, which I can sort of see. Maybe they get overconfident against a pretty good team. Like, I know Texas Tech could be a possibility since they are looking like they're probably going to lose to West Virginia. Maybe they run into a team like that. Also, Elite Eight, a decent amount of you went there. 13% says they lose in the Final Four or championship. I can definitely see that, but 20% of you do think Duke's going to win it all. And even with them being number 5 in the nation and dropping down to a 2 seed, they're still the people's favorite. So I think it's safe to say this is a pretty split issue, but I'll show you guys where I fall on this. Now, if you guys have seen my videos over the March Madness topics and stuff, you know that I like momentum going into the tournament. And I think that's going to be big for Duke. I think they're going to play Syracuse in, about 10 minutes. It's going to tip off. I think they're going to beat Syracuse pretty easily. Tyus Battle is not playing for the Cuse. Duke should be able to get that easy. Zion's going to come back. We'll see how he does. Even if he scores 0 points, I think they're going to win that pretty easily. But here's the thing. They're 3-3 without Zion. And I don't know. But if they lose to either UNC, because UNC just beat Louisville. If they were to lose to UNC, or let's say they beat UNC and they lose to the winner of Virginia and Florida State, I don't think Duke's going to go far into the tournament because they get flustered very easily. If you could throw Duke off their game early, they don't know what to do. Especially with a young team like that. They're used to everything going their way. If you can throw them off early, they don't know what to do. That's what UNC did both games that they beat them. However, they haven't really seen Zion Williamson except for 30 seconds. And it's interesting. But I think Duke, if I had to make a prediction, I actually picked them to win the ACC. I think they will just because UNC hasn't seen Zion yet. And Zion is the engine that makes that offense go. You can argue R.J. Barrett all you want, but Duke is 3-3 without Zion and something like 25-2 with him. He is the X factor. He is what makes their team go. He is who that offense and defense really revolves around. They play through Zion, and Zion plays through them. With him coming back, I think they're going to get a new fire, a new energy, and I like them to go farther than I had earlier. But with that being said, I don't think they'll make it to the Final Four. I think they'll lose in the Elite Eight because they're going to be heavy favorites, and they're probably going to run into a pretty good team in the final. They could run into 2 types of teams in the Final Four. One, another powerhouse like them, maybe Kentucky, Michigan State, Gonzaga, a team like that. And they're going to give Duke a run for their money. The way Michigan State's playing right now, they might be playing like one of, if not the best teams in the country. They're on absolute fire right now. But Or they could be facing a Cinderella team, and you never know about those teams because Cinderella teams play with such just passion and all that stuff. And Duke could get flustered by one of them. And here's the last reason why I think they'll lose in the Elite Eight. Statistically, when you match them against a team in the Elite Eight, seeding doesn't matter. Like, I think the lower seed has won like 50% of the time. Higher seeds won 50% of the time. They're like dead even. So it doesn't really matter who Duke faces. I think they're probably going to either run into a train coming through in another really good powerhouse like them, or they run into one of those Cinderella teams that catches them off their game early. That's why I think Duke's going to lose in the Elite Eight. But they may go all the way. They may lose to University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. We don't really know. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't comment. Go to my poll on the community tab and you can vote on where you think Duke's going to fall. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to join the ESPN Tournament Challenge group. It's going to be a lot of fun over there. I'll see you next time.